Okay, hi, welcome to week two of your Active Coach trial. Uh, this week, just going to, for the fuel section um, of your trial, we're just going to run through the principle of the Active Coach food stages. So hopefully, if you've got your hard copy brochure, you will have had a look through, and you will have seen um, this diagram here. So this is our nutritional principles. Now, the temptation for many people is to jump up this pyramid and to start focusing on the upper sections, because that's the sort of sexy part of nutrition that we see on social media. That's where people, when they see things in magazines, it seems to be these supplements or these sort of macro splits that are part of a diet or a strategy that are getting people results. What we want to do is draw you back down to the bottom of this pyramid, down to the base. As with anything, a strong base allows you to build a taller pyramid. So this base needs to be solid. So we're going to be looking at simple things like getting your calories in balance, and then whatever we do to create that calorie balance, making sure it's something that you can do consistently. This really is stage one of the food stages. So if we go back here to stage one, uh, 1 second, here we go. So it's establishing a basic nutrition foundation. This really is the basis of what the 30 days on Active Coach trial should really be all about. We will go through macro splits with you. So macros are your macronutrients, your protein, your carbohydrates, and your fats. We'll only really do it because most people want it. So we'll go through it with you, and we'll make sure you have an understanding of what it is. And there'll be a video there to cover this. But we don't want you to get stuck in the detail of that at this stage. What we really want at the moment is for you to be consistent with your training. Try and get in 3 times per week. Enjoy the sessions. Build up competence in the exercises that we're running through. And from a nutrition perspective, really to focus on trying to establish just one good habit each week that you can prove to yourself that you can master and you can consolidate, and then move on to another one the following week. And your coach is there to support you during this process. The simple things to start with will just be things like, are you drinking enough fluids? Are you getting enough protein in your daily diet? Are you eating too many or too few calories based on your target? How are you going to establish that target? We run through simple things like using your hand to try and establish how much of the macronutrients you're consuming. But basic things like getting more vegetables into your diet are going to make it easier for you to fill yourself up with good, nutritious food that's not calorie dense, rather than snacking on things which are going to make it easy to overconsume, and just won't really get the right sort of nutrients into your body to fuel the results that you're looking for, both from a fat loss perspective, but also to fuel good training. So that's stage one. That's your nutrition pyramid, which I encourage you to try and sort of refer back to as you need to. Stage two will be where we'll get a bit more specific. We might start looking at things to track the nutrients. We'll use either my MyFitnessPal or Chronometer. Chronometer is our preferred choice because it tends to be a bit more accurate. We'll then get on to things like advanced strategies, where you might look at things like nutrient timing, the types of protein you might take and when you might take those. But these are really for a later stage, not really for stage one, which should be your 30-day trial. And then finally, you can get onto things like personal testing, and that's really where you're sort of digging into the depths. And that's, perhaps if you feel you have intolerances or you've got sort of gut issues that might be causing problems for you. It's all very relevant, but it's important to draw you back to starting at stage one. Just get your basics, those foundational pieces in place before jumping forward. And then, if you really feel you've got an issue, or perhaps you've had something diagnosed, you could look at an elimination diet. An elimination diet is something that potentially you might do for 4 to 6 weeks. And it's where really you try and, with the help of one of our coaches, strip out the trigger foods that potentially have been sort of shown to cause people issues. And it's not something we're going to go into now. It's something that we can go into in more depth if it's something you feel is relevant to yourself. It's quite extreme. You basically strip out everything that might be considered a trigger food, and then bit by bit you add them back in again, and just monitor, perhaps with the help of a diary, to try and look and see if there's anything that is causing you issues. So there you go, that's week 2. Nutrition is such an important component of trying to achieve your results, so it's something you really need to look at. And like we always keep on trying to draw you back to, Active Coach is not just about the training sessions, it's about what happens outside of those sessions as much as anything else. So please do take the time to try and prioritize you this week and looking at your nutrition. Just try and start with a simple habit and prove to yourself that you can stick to it, and then the following week, new habit, stick to it, and just build on those habits. Okay, good luck, and remember, you can always contact us, so hopefully see you at the sessions. Bye.